Hi, welcome to Resting Print Face episode 3. Today I'm going to talk about I had a success and I had some failures. My goal at the end of last video was to print an AMS Build Plate holder. This is the image of that build plate holder. I still do not have that build plate holder. So let me tell you the story. So I had a spool of black filament. Okay, this is empty right now, and I will tell you why this is empty. I had a spool of black filament that I just was insisting on using to print this build plate holder. I have no idea how old it is. I don't know what brand it is. I suppose I could look it up by the serial number or whatever, but so I've had it for a long time. And it was giving me grief. It was because I hadn't secured the end, was getting stuck on itself, you know, and it kept getting trapped. And so I was gonna respool it, okay? So then I said, well, I need a respooler of some sort. So I printed this respooler. This is my success this week. I am really proud of this. It took a little bit of jiggery. I had to reprint a couple things, but it works. Oh, I like this. It works really well. And please don't mind the mess on my workbench. It's the way my mind works, and it's the way my workbench looks most of the time. So there's no gatekeeping here, you know, there's no gatekeeping at all. So anyway, I found this and I did print it. I'll put the picture of it and a link to the model in case you want to do it. So I used this filament and it printed in 2 pieces. These 2 pieces printed pretty well. I'm not super confident in the security between the 2 pieces. Let's see if I can bring this up closer to you. I have it set to follow me. Hello. So I'll do that. Anyway, so I'm not super confident. There's like 3 posts and 3 holes here, but I think I might get a piece to put underneath or super glue it or something so I don't have to worry about it like snapping in half. Hasn't happened yet, but so the reason I printed this is I wanted to respool that black filament because I didn't want to just get rid of it. I was just going to print something to go under my AMS to hold my build plates. And so there's all kinds of mess right here. It printed pretty well. Like I said, the only issue, okay, so I ran into 2 issues printing this particular model. I believe it was this one. Let me super quick take this off. But this particular side, this is a side where you put the empty spool that you're respooling. There was so many supports on here. So if you decide to print it, the one that has a small gear on the side, make sure to turn down how many supports, because it was just, I sat there with, was it this? I sat there with the needle nose while I was watching TV trying to pull it out, and it was really kind of risky. No bloody knuckles, so I survived it. But yeah, be extra careful with that because it does put a whole lot of supports on there. But that, you know, that wasn't a big deal. So I sat and the gear and the thing screws on good. So I was proud of that. It's a functional print and it looks good. And I didn't do any tuning of the filament, so that's fine. And there's a little thing that goes on here that holds that. And then let me do this so it's not. Put it back in. Put the little snappy in. Okay, everything's back. So that was my success this week. I think this is going to work really well. Like I said, I'm going to secure right here. There was a little bit of kind of messy mess right here, but not enough to not use it. And Watch, look at this, pretty cool. So I can respool filament. And I have, I printed a few of these a couple weeks ago. So these, I can put this on there and then respool onto these refillable spool holder, filament holders. And of course it's going to not go together right because I'm on camera. Because I could edit this out. I really could, but am I going to? That's another story. Oh, I'm going to have to edit this whole darn thing out because I'm not lining. There you go. There you go. Okay, so I have 3 of these that I printed. So that goes on this side, and then the one that you're going to respool goes here. So I respooled the black filament. And I tried using it while it was respooled, and it kept breaking. And then it got stuck in my AMS, so I had to take apart my AMS again. And then I gave up trying to use it. And I took it out, and I set it over here. You guys see this? Yeah. Don't do this. Don't do this. Bad. No, don't do this. So anyway, I set it here, and then I was sitting at my desk working, ignored it for a while, ignored what was going on over in this side of the office because I was kind of frustrated. And I looked over, and this is what I saw. You guys see this? Yeah, it looks like it shows up. This is that former black filament. Y'all know what happened? Yeah. And I suspect that the filament was just too old. I think that I probably bought this filament when I got my, what do you call it? When I got my ender. That's all I can think of. I live in Arizona. It is not the most humid place. It's a dry heat, so it's not the most humid place. So I got kind of lax about just leaving my filament out. Not only did I not put the ends of the filament and keep it from going boing, I also just left it out because I assumed that we didn't have, the type of humidity that some of the other states have. So yes, I have this huge mess that as soon as I'm done with this video, that's going in the trash. But yeah, so that was a fail on my part for not paying more attention to it. Like I said, it was breaking. Filament was getting stuck in the AMS. It just was not working. So I wound up ordering more filament. I ordered a couple more black. I ordered a gray. So this used to be that black filament. Just stick this up here for now. Okay, so the success was I got this printed, and I'm pretty darn happy with it. The other thing is that I went and printed, they have one that has like the hex thing, the hex shape, because the handle that comes with the original setup, let me see if I can find that really bad print. Really bad print. Okay, this was the first handle that I tried to print. Yeah, no joke. I'm serious. And you can see pieces. My dog will eat that filament that I just dropped. Okay, so that's the first handle. And then I printed this one. And as you can see, it just kind of went wonky. And it was supposed to connect to this gear, that handle that I just showed you. And there was another plate or another model within that particular setup that had the hex thing on it. And I printed that one, and it looks gorgeous. This is great. So definitely, if you decide to print this, don't print the one that's on the plate with one of these. There's one. I'll show you below. I'll show you in the description what I mean. And then, so it's got a hex right here. So it just goes in like that, and then you can do this to re-roll filament you might have that's getting stuck on each other. So that was something that I learned about this week. Also, you can put a drill bit with the hex shape in here if you don't want to do it manually. It took me about 10 to 15 minutes to re-roll the black filament. So it didn't take too long, and it wasn't too painful. So that worked out really well. And then I bought new filament, like I said. And when I bought the new filament, I'm really, really desperately wanting to print this AMS Build Plate holder. And I will put the picture and the model in the description. I was able to get the two sides, the two that go on this, they go on the side like this. I was able to get these to print, no problem. There was just a tiny little bit of a lift. See if I can find the lift real quick. On this side, you may not be able to see it in the camera, but there's a teeny bit of a lift. And I said, well, it's okay. It's just for me. I'm not giving it to anybody or selling it or whatever. So, okay, so I went to print. There is two sides on this particular build plate holder that's supposed to hold the build plate. Take a good look at that. That is not okay. Not pretty, especially right here. And I started to hear it kind of fussing, and so I am still trying to figure out how to get this to print properly. I mean, there's even, if you see on this piece right here on the side, there's these two groove things, I don't even know what you call them, that go into these posts on here. So they're supposed to slide in like this. Let's see if you guys can see. And let me do it this way so you can see it better. So that's, so two of them printed okay, but the last one is just, I don't know what the heck it was doing. I had no idea. So I don't know what this is. I mean, I went and I printed a temperature tower, and I was trying to figure out what's going on here. This is not okay. So not pretty, so I didn't get, and I work full time during the day, so I can't keep reprinting and reprinting and reprinting. I can do to a certain point, and then that's it. So I'm still trying to get that printed. I do have two sides now, so I'm going to try and play around with the filament and see. Like I said, I printed a temperature tower, and I don't see any issues except like at the lower temperatures, 190, 195, whatever, there's some stringing. But I'm trying to figure out what is causing just this absolute mess. And look on the side. What is that? What? Oh, sorry. What is that? What is that? I don't understand. Okay, so that was this week. That was not great. I had a couple failures too, where I was starting to print something, and a piece just got knocked off. And then, so you can see I got all these little failures this week, trying to get this thing to print. So I'm still going to work on that this week and see what it is I need to tweak with my filament, because it printed these fine. Like I said, just a tiny lift. So why in the heck? Something to do with the infill. All I can think of is, I think it has a gyroid infill. I don't understand all the infills, so that could be the problem. I don't know. So we'll be trying to track that down. So after my black filament from gosh knows how long ago, like exploded this week, I realized I really need to go through all my filament, and I need to treat my filament differently than I've been treating it. I have some that are still in boxes, but I have quite a few where I printed. If you go back in my history for my channel, you'll see I have a lot of shorts of stuff that I printed in the past. Chess pieces and vases and bowls and, things like that, just for fun. So you'll see that in my shorts that I have a lot of those. But those, you know, you don't use an entire thing, an entire filament. You only use part of it, maybe a quarter of it, maybe a half of it. So I have a lot of spools of filament where I use some of it, but not all of it. And I've been, like I said, I've been treating it like there's no issues with humidity. And apparently there's issues with humidity. So one of the things that I am planning on doing this next week is going through all my filament and figuring out which ones I need to dry. I think I need to dry all of them. These guys are itty bitty babies, and I'm only keeping them because I really liked them, so I want to make sure I buy the same. So I'll probably put them in a container or something, or take a picture of the brand and the color so that I know what's what. So the other thing I'm doing is that, so I said I'm going to take care of my filament. So I have to go through my filament and figure out which filament I need to dry out, because I hate to like get rid of it, you know, because there's a possibility that I could dry them out and use them. So this filament is a Matter Hackers Quantum Dichromatic PLA Quantum Raspberry Gold. My favorite. I tried printing a really gorgeous model that I found. It was kind of like a vase type thing. And I wanted to use this because it has, I don't know if you can see the colors. I'll put a picture up so you can see it up close instead of me sticking it in your face here. But love, love, love this. It started getting stuck. I can remember at one point I was standing at my printer, and I had that, last week I showed you guys, I had like a thing that stuck out. Instead of putting my filament in the back, I had a little thing on the side, like a sidewinder, and I would put my filament in there. I could remember trying to save that print and sitting there and moving the filament back and forth so that it didn't get caught. I'd be saying, oh, it's going to get, you know, and I did that. Seriously, I just didn't want to lose the filament. So that said, I want to respool this. But my worry is, this is a few years old. It's got to be at least 3 years old. I've had this printer, probably 2 years old. I've had this printer since 2023. It's 2025, so it's probably a couple years old. And I didn't want to try to re-spool it like I did the black one and then have it implode like it did. So I remembered I had bought from Temu, and you can get this just about anywhere. And do I have I think I do. Okay. So I bought this kit. It's a Keep Your Filament Dry. It's a vacuum kit. You can get it just about anywhere, but I bought it at Temu. And I just tried this a little bit ago. And at first it was kind of difficult to figure out. It comes with 20 of these bags, and the bags have a little air valve thingy right here. So let me set this down right here so that I don't have stuff falling on the floor. And it comes with 20 little humidity indicators that you can put in the bag. And I will show you that in the actual bag that I did. And it comes with 20 packages of desiccant. And I thought I was going to have to 3D print this, but it also comes with a little, let me see real quick. Sorry for the noise, guys. Let me make sure this is closed, because we don't want the desiccant to get humidified. Okay. And then it comes with this little clip thingy that you use to close the bag completely. And it comes with the air sucker outer, whatever this is called. Excuse you. So I am going to go through my filament, and for the stuff that's older, that are ones that I have to re-spool, I'm going to go through and put them in one of these bags and let them sit around for a little while, and then sit in these for a while, and in hopes that when I do go to respool, because I would respool this from this to one of the ones that I already printed, So, but I want to make sure that it is not as bad off as my black filament. So I'm kind of excited. I'll have to I'll find the video or the picture of the item that I was trying to print with this years ago that broke. Hopefully I have some video or a picture or something of it. And because these are not inexpensive. These Matter Hacker Quantums are, I think it was 35 bucks. It was really expensive. So I didn't want to just let it go because I left it out. So, and these are not, it wasn't too bad sucking the air out. So, and it comes with this little thing too. So this week, like I said, I had the success with the respooler. I'll probably either super glue or put something underneath because I'm a little concerned about the strength of this in between the two pieces. But I was really happy with this. Whoop, excuse you. Really happy with this. And it did a really good job of respooling the black filament. It's just the black filament is super wet, apparently, as it exploded. And then I was able to put one of these on here and respool the other filament. So I will do that with this one after the fact. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, okay. So I did try to print the AMS Build Plate thing to put under here. And then I got frustrated. This is that plate that I messed up before when the Bowden tube was too small. And that's in episode 1. So if you want to see what I did to it. So I said, okay, I'm not having a lot of luck with this particular one. Something's up with the part that the build plate slides into. And so I went and looked for another one that is vertical. And the top part, this part, it looks really good. And this part looks really good. Inside, not so much. There's little bitty pieces of filament between. It is not clean. It is not pretty. So that's something I got to figure out this week. Again, with the same spool of filament that I was trying to print that other piece that goes to the AMS Build Plate holder. So yeah, I mean, the plate goes in. The plate fits, so I could probably use it. No, let me make a liar out of me. Okay, so it does fit, and I could put 6 of them in there. But I worry that because of the condition of the inside, the grooves of it, it's going to cause some damage to my plates. So that's what I'm worried about. Otherwise, though, it was a decent week. I learned a lot. And so now this next week, I'm going to go through, like I said, I have some boxes that are closed. I have a bunch of filament that I got when I was getting a box, like a maker's box for a while. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with those, but those can stay in the bags. I'm not going to be putting every single filament that I buy in this. But I am going to try the filaments that I've had for a while and try to dry them out so that they still can be used. Because for PLA, I can just do, what do you call it, a Tupperware box, or I could do just a regular bag and stick some silica in it. But this is trying to recover filament that I've had for a while. So that is pretty much this week. Like I said, I'm pretty proud of this. And like I said, if I wanted to, I could get my little pink drill and put a hex thing on the end of it and do that if I didn't feel like doing this manually. But it turned out really good. Very happy with that. Not so happy with these guys. Happy with that. Except for the little bit of mess right there. All right, so that's it for this week. Next week, what was I going to do next week? Well, I want to try and get this thing printed. The build plate, and then I've got to figure out how I'm going to set everything up here. Everything has just been, I was printing for fun, for me, for family, for gifts, and trying to figure out how to best set up the process so that I can start putting stuff up on my store. I can't right now. There's just too much mess going on. All right, so that's it for this week. Please like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you'd like to continue to watch this process. I'm at the very beginning of the process. I am not completely new to this, but I was kind of lax about a lot of stuff, and I'm going to try and get myself to the point where I'm not doing damage to things like an entire roll or entire spool of filament or breaking extruders or anything like that. So I'm getting there. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next week for episode 4. All right. Okay. Bye-bye.